Alright everyone, welcome back. Appreciate y'all being here today. So if you've been around the channel for a minute, you know that I am a sucker for land masses, landscapes, valleys, mountain ranges, all that kind of stuff. That is my forte. But today, I'm going to be checking out the top 10 cities to visit in Europe. Now this is from Ryan Shirley. We know how good work Ryan does. So I'm curious to see what it is. It's not too long. It's about a 9-minute video. So I'm going to get ready to hop into it, but before I do, I want you to comment before you start watching the full video, before we get to his part of the video. Comment what your favorite city you've been to in Europe that's not your home city. That's obviously if you're European, if you're an American watching, or you're from somewhere that, you know, had to fly into Europe. What was the favorite city you visited before you watched this video? So let's get into the video here. The top 10 cities to visit in Europe. Oh, by the way, this is a couple years old, so it might change by now for him at least. But this is at least a couple years ago.
What's up guys, my name is Ryan Shirley and I spent the last few years exploring Europe and I want to show you my favorite cities. So here's my European cities top 10. Europe is home to some of the world's most interesting cities, from the ancient history of Athens to the billionaires' playground of Monte Carlo. Europe's cities offer so much variety and diversity.
I feel like that was Game of Thrones.
Off at the beautiful city of Lucerne. Located in the heart of Switzerland, Lucerne is a picturesque lake city surrounded by the Swiss Alps. It's just a short 40-minute drive from Zurich. One of my favorite parts of Lucerne is...
Now see, I could get used to that city right there. You got the Alps around you, you got beautiful little lake with like a stream, river looking thing going through the middle of it.
All of its medieval buildings and architecture. Lucerne is home to Chapel Bridge, which is the world's oldest surviving truss bridge. It was built over 600 years ago in 1365. It almost burnt down in 1993, but it was reconstructed and it's now open to the public. Another impressive place in Lucerne is the Mooseg Wall and Towers. The fortifications began in the 13th century and it's made up of 9 stone towers that were used as a defense wall during medieval times.
That's awesome.
Aside from all the history, Lucerne is just a beautiful city to walk around and explore the lake and all the surrounding scenery. I mean, it's hard to beat the beauty of this Swiss city. Alright, after Lucerne, we're going to head over to Portugal to visit the vibrant city of Lisbon. Being one of the oldest cities in the world, Lisbon is Europe's second oldest capital city after Athens. I mean, there's just so much culture and history in this city.
I had no idea about that.
The Sanctuary of Christ the King Monument reminded me of a mixture of Rio de Janeiro and San Francisco's bridge. The Commerce Square is another beautiful spot to explore. One of the coolest parks in Lisbon is...
I'm sorry, I don't want to pause it already, but Lisbon is the second oldest city in behind Athens? I mean, wow. What would I guess I don't know what I thought would have been. I mean, maybe Rome, but
is the Parque
interesting.
Eduardo VII. It's full of beautifully designed hedges and just a great place to enjoy the afternoon or evening. The Belém Tower is also an important monument that served as a point of embarkation for Portuguese explorers. Lisbon is also close to some stunning beaches such as Ursa Beach. I haven't been to Lisbon yet, but certainly one of the first new European cities I want to explore. Alright, so after Lisbon, we're going to head over to Italy to visit the famous town of Positano. Located on the Amalfi Coast, Positano is a seaside village that's about a 3.5-hour drive from Rome. Well, back in the 1st century, luxury Roman villas were built.
It's one of my favorite
It was believed to be the home of
areas that I've ever gotten to see, not in person,
but crash upon the rocky shores. Positano was a somewhat poor fishing village during the first half of the 20th century, but tourism began to gain traction in the 1950s, especially after John Steinbeck wrote about Positano in his essay where he said it is a dream place that isn't quite real when you are there and becomes beckoningly real after you are gone. When you see this place in real life, I think you'll feel the same as Steinbeck. I mean, it's just hard to beat the beauty of this place. The backdrop of the mountains filled with colorful villas against the Mediterranean Sea filled with boats and yachts. It's just jaw-dropping. Positano is quite a touristy destination, so be aware you maybe get some crowds, especially during the summer, but the beauty is worth that price if you ask me. I mean, it's just such a stunning location. Alright, after Italy, we're going to visit possibly the most iconic city in the world, London. I've traveled more to London than any other international destination. I love the city so much and I just keep coming back for more. Everything from double-decker buses to the energy of Piccadilly Circus makes the city feel so alive. There's just so many places to see. You can check out the iconic Big Ben and walk across the bridge to see the Palace of Westminster. There's the Tower.
See, I'm more old school city, I guess, if I had to be one. I mean, London, I would visit London. No, I'm not bashing it at all, but London would not be like way up there on my list. It's kind of like New York City for me. I'd visit New York if you want to take me on a tour bus, but I have no desire to actually go to New York by myself.
Bridge, which is possibly the most famous bridge in all London. You can go see the Stoic Guards at Buckingham Palace or take a ride on the London Eye. If you haven't already been to London, I highly recommend visiting when you can. It's hard to beat London's atmosphere. There's no city like it in the world. While we're still in the UK, we're going to head over to Edinburgh. If you want to go back in time, Edinburgh is a must. It's where J.K. Rowling wrote her Harry Potter novels. When I started traveling, this was one of the first cities I visited. It's a medieval town with intricate neoclassical buildings, cobblestone streets, and beautiful gardens. The iconic Edinburgh Castle overlooks the city and it's home to Scotland's crown jewels. One of my favorite places.
So my question for you guys at the beginning of the video is, what would be your city you'd gone to if mine would be Edinburgh or Florence, and it'd be hard for me to choose between because I love the old castle-y look of this city. You know what I mean? So it'd be hard for me to choose between the two.
In Edinburgh is Calton Hill that just offers a beautiful view of the entire city. Another cool spot in Edinburgh is Arthur's Seat. It's located in Holyrood Park and it's a short walk from Edinburgh Centre. Arthur's Seat is an extinct volcano with an elevation of 823 feet. When I was there, I wanted to get as high as I could so I could see all of Edinburgh. I made the hike up and reached the top. I just had a good time hiking around Holyrood Park and enjoying the views of one of Europe's most beautiful cities. After Edinburgh, we're going to head down to Croatia to visit the medieval town of Dubrovnik. Now, located in southern Croatia, Dubrovnik is one of the most popular medieval cities in Europe. The history of Dubrovnik dates back to the 7th century when it was founded by refugees. During the 14th century to 1808, Dubrovnik was ruled as a free state.
I swear this
one
is
of the
what
most
they did.
notable features of Dubrovnik are the walls that surround the old city.
King's
They are
Landing
almost
for Game
2
of Thrones.
kilometers in length and they are anywhere from 4 to 6 meters thick. They were used to protect the city throughout history. The unique look of the city has made it a popular filming location. Dubrovnik was featured in Game of Thrones as it was used to depict the city of King's Landing. After Croatia, we're to head up north to visit Czech
I thought it
Republic
looked familiar.
to visit the capital city of Prague. Due to its location and rich history, Prague is known
completely
as
forgot
the
about
political,
Prague. That might be my
cultural,
city.
and economic center of Europe.
How did I forget about
was
Prague?
the capital of the Kingdom of Bohemia and was the main residence of many Roman emperors such as Charles IV.
Yeah, that
One of
might be my
favorite
city I would
attractions is the
want to
Charles
go to the
Bridge.
most.
Its construction began in 1357 and it wasn't finished until the beginning of the 15th century. The bridge is decorated with an alley of over 30 statues. I mean, it's just so scenic and such a great feature in Prague. The Old Town Square is also a great place to explore, and the Prague Castle is another beautiful sight to see. It's considered to be the largest ancient castle in the world, and it was built more than 1,000 years ago in the 9th century. I mean, that's a freaking long time. Prague has such a historic vibe, and I hope all can visit. After Prague, we're going to head over to Spain to visit the famous city of Barcelona. Now, when you think of Spain, this is what you probably imagine. Barcelona is home to incredible architecture, Mediterranean beaches, and an energetic vibe all around. When I was in Barcelona, I wanted to get a good vantage point of the whole city, so I hiked up this place called Mirador de les Batteries. It's a wild spot that offers a 360 panoramic view of the city. The most iconic attraction in Barcelona is La Sagrada Familia. It's this Roman Catholic minor basilica that began construction over 138 years ago, and it still isn't finished. It's anticipated that construction will be finished in 2026, but who knows? All I know is one of the most unique buildings in the world, and I still can't get my head around that it's been in construction since 1882.
Wow.
Alright, after Spain, we're going to head over to Greece to visit the city of Athens. It's the capital and largest city in Greece, and it's one of the world's oldest cities. Athens is such a wild place with so much history. One of my favorite places in Athens is the Acropolis. If you want to get into Parthenon, it costs about 20 euros, so it's a little expensive, but it's totally worth it, especially if you're there. When I went to the Acropolis, I was able to get some of my favorite time lapses over the city. There's just an endless sea of white buildings with mountains in the background. If you do go to Greece, I recommend exploring Athens for at least a day or two. It's just such a unique place. Alright, so for our last location, we're going to visit the tiny country of Monaco to see the city of Monte Carlo. Now, Monaco is the second smallest country after the Vatican. The whole country is only 499 acres. Monaco has
So
been
it's
known
basically
as
the
a
city.
billionaire's playground, and over 1/3 of Monaco's citizens are millionaires. One reason why Monaco draws the rich is because it's a tax haven. There are no income taxes and other tax rates are extremely low. One of the most famous places in Monaco is the Monte Carlo Casino. It was opened in 1863 and has been featured in the James Bond films. Another annual tourist attraction in Monaco is the Grand Prix. I'd love to see some race cars ripping through the city there. If you can handle the riches of Monte Carlo and Monaco, it's definitely a place to add to your European city bucket list. Well, that is it for
Wow.
my top 10. Europe is such a unique region of the world. There's just so many beautiful cities in Europe. I literally could have did a top 100 list, so it's really hard to narrow it down to 10. Let
That's
me
what I
know
was
in the
thinking.
comments
That's
below
what I
where
was
your
thinking.
favorite European city is. If you guys want a free lot or some free stock footage, make sure you check out my website, description below. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram at shirley.films. Anyways, it's Ryan, and we will see you later.
But I'm going to have to check out that website because I got some plans for our channel here in the future. And until I get my opportunity to come over and visit you guys over there in Europe and at some point get over to New Zealand, but it's a lot more expensive for me to get there than it is Europe at the moment. So, man, I might have to check out that website for some stock footage. I was just sitting there thinking, I was like, where was France? You know, where was Paris? Where was Berlin or Frankfurt? You know, I'm just, I was blown away by, I shouldn't say the lack of those countries because I don't think there's anything wrong with those cities. You know what I mean? It's just like, there's just so many cities in Europe. And Prague, I mean, I know I said Scotland's Edinburgh, but Prague might be my number one I want to see. I don't know, there's just something about it. But there's also something about Florence. But there's honestly something about Berlin because I want to go see Berlin and just suck in the World War II knowledge. But I also want to go see like Normandy beaches and just so much. I know Normandy Beach is not a city, but I'm just saying like there's just so much I want to see. Man, what a video. I love these kind of videos. I love that stuff right there. If you guys enjoyed the video, please let me know in the comment section down below by telling me, for one, what your city was, and two, what city you would like to see after you watch the video. Athens is also up there because I just recently rewatched 300, and yeah, I just kind of forgot about how badass ancient Greece was. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. Thank you guys so much for being here. Leave a like on the video if you haven't already. Consider subscribing to the channel. We are so close to getting to 500 subs, and I'm so thankful for all of you. It's free for you. It helps me out tremendously. Like the video if you haven't already. Share it with all your friends. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one, guys. Bye.